Thank you so much for joining us once again on Business Insights with Irene.
You're welcome.
Now we'll be having a very important conversation which rallies around business structure, right? When you know the term business structure, what is said, what comes to mind?
Well, business structure is simply systems and processes you put in place to help you drive your business. It come across divisions, departments, basically systems and processes, things you have, your organization had developed that can help you get the best out of what you are doing and track and monitor all of those things, approval limit, internal control issues, and all of those things. These are all the whole thing that made up the business structure, So, of course, like we said in business, if you are now going out to compete in different areas of the business, you need to, come up with strategies, winning strategies in each of them that can help you deliver the result, which if you come to marketing, there's going to be marketing structure, strategies, there's going to be, competitive strategies, there are going to be sales strategies, you keep all of these. They all form the structure of the business on the long run. I like the word strategy because if you look at it, the word strategy is actually like an advanced planning, because it's like a military language, things that are done on the background. But this is where you can see clear to where you are going. If your strategy is correct and you successfully apply it, you know already what the outcome is, and that's why, to an extent, result in business is predictable. It's predictable if the strategies are right and people follow through to it. You have an idea. Of course, in a business plan already, you already in a year, in those plan you made during the budget section, you can get up and knowing that if you follow this thing, that you're going to end up with $1 billion or 2 or 3 or 10 at the end of the year, or 100 or 200 million. So all you need to do is that you now go and walk towards them. At the end of the year, you come back and say, okay, what are those strategies that we apply that work exactly the way we are? Then you also, analyze and say, what are the things we never planned that crop up at the rest of the year that have also, made us some additional revenue? Because these are histories you track to be able to make plan for next year, and said, there are certain areas of our business we can close our eyes today and we bet, and we will never miss. We never by any means miss what we bet by more than 15%. Because we've done it over the year, and even with ups and downs in business, NSAS, COVID lockdown, 1 month or 2 months never affect that business beyond 20% tolerance. Which anywhere in life, if you score 80%, you are still
good to go.
Yeah.
So what does it really take to get to a point where you have set up such a formidable structure that, like you said, even if you close your eyes and decide to go to sleep, you know that this particular, part or product or service that you're rendering would not be hampered upon, irrespective. That's like building strength. How do you do this?
It takes years. It takes a command of a market share. So these are not, you can't make this kind of level of prediction by taking a chance, something that are not there. Okay, we've been around in the last 40 years. We've command some market share.
Of course.
over a period of years. We are leaders in some areas of the business. So we can predict it. We can predict it, and we will never go wrong, maximum by 20%. Sometimes we don't go wrong more than 10%, because the history is there. You know, something has to happen. Like Nigeria does not exist in a very catastrophic manner that go beyond 3, 4, 5 months for the result to change in adverse. Even when you close in for 1 or 2 months, we can easily make up, because we have an idea what the demand will be, and we have systems in place to produce and continue to deliver, you know, even in such situations. So it doesn't happen overnight. This is where you get to. You will say you have created a niche in the industry for yourself. It's like even a wine tapper. If you start tapping a wine, which is, I use natural things, local things to describe how the whole thing is. Making money is like try to develop a wine, like a wine tapper. You need to continue to address that, what do you call it? The tree, you know,
the palm tree.
The vine tree, you know, dress it morning and evening, and sometimes it's running, the things is running in a day, doesn't fill a cup. But as you continue to dress it, you got to get to a point where you get it open. You put a 20 or 30 gallon, you know, it fill up before 12 o'clock. You come back and put another one. So sometimes you go 2 or 3 times in a day to fetch wine out of that same wine tapper, because you've gotten it to the place where it is flowing, it's running. Money making is also in that way in running business. There are the years of addressing that, you know, vine, you know, without much result, but you are consistent. You believe it's going to flow. And when it starts flowing, you just make sure you have a lot of jerry cans to be able to to take the fruit out of that vine.
So for an early stage business, what are those things they need to start focusing on? Because I reckon that you really shouldn't start up a business if you don't have a long-term vision for it, right? And for example, what you're saying, using the example of a palm tree, is over time you start to see the wholesome benefits of, you know, all you have taught for over the years.
It's not everybody that is in business that have a long-time vision about it. It's just presumption that that is what it's supposed to be. A lot of people are in business, their ego means more to them than continuity. I've seen people fire their staff out of ego. One of their key staff that helped to make the things work for them. You know, there are people who have different values in life. Okay, if that is not correct, why all entrepreneurs are not making money? Where they are there, some of the entrepreneurs fell, and really fell big time. And some fell and never rose again. Back. Okay, it's because their strategies are wrong, their mental attitude are wrong, their approaches to issues are wrong. The ultimate result is that they are going to fail. It's a combination of doing wrong thing in a consistent level, ultimate result to failure. Success is also a combination of doing the right thing in a consistent manner over a period of the time. If you set up a business, the correct thing is that you should have a long-term view about that business. It's presumptions that you will. But there may be other things that motivate you Some people are in a hurry for instant gratification. Oh, I finished school with this guy. I am supposed to be an entrepreneur. He went to get a job. Now he's riding a BMW. And why should I still be riding this Volkswagen? And you forgot that part of your capital form part of your intelligence. And part of the skill you need to have as an entrepreneur is to return capital to be able to grow your things. You start measuring up with the person you finish school. And the next thing is you dish out of the money in expense of the growth of your business to go and buy a BMW or to move your location of house to live in Ikoyi. I lived in Ajegule.
When you could
After
afford the house.
20 years or 30 years, I started business.
I could afford the house in a better
I could afford a house
environment.
in Ikoyi. But I tell people, why do I have to pay 150 million naira for rent in a house when I know that at interest rate of 15%, that 150 million naira will return 15 million naira to me per annum? If I do business with it, I can deliver 25 to 30 million naira on 150 million naira per annum. Otherwise, it's better you keep the money with the bank and let those who know better than it manage it. If I take money from bank and pay 15 or 18% interest rate, then I must find a good business that will deliver that 18 million naira to the bank and earn me additional money. Otherwise, the business I'm doing is useless. So I keep on thinking about it, and making a house and moving Ikoyi was not a priority to me. At the time I said, okay, I want to do that by the time I turned 40. I turned 40, I never moved. And some people said, this man, he don't make juju with money, because, village talkers can say anything. That's why he's living like a poor man here. If he live well in that place, the medicine he made, the medicine is that he will never enjoy the money. But the correct medicine is that I am intelligent, that I need additional capital to support my business. I knew I would relax, but I want my vine to start running in the level that even I take 2 gallons out of that pine, that I still have what I expect. And then it wasn't before 50 or at 50. I moved to live in Ikoyi, and I did it effortlessly. My business never suffered one day. My business never shaken because I was making a house in Ikoyi. That's what I advise young people to do. Don't be in a hurry to go and make a house in a village where you live, especially Igbo people, where you live maybe maximum 10 days in a year or 20 days in a year. Put your money where you need to grow it. That eloquency of I have arrived syndrome, let it not be a priority to you, because you don't need to prove anything to nobody. If you watch something, you know you watch something. You don't need to prove anything to nobody.